Well, we've made it to week 10, but not in any way that I might have imagined before this course began. We're in the midst of a turbulent time of mourning over the disease of white supremacy in our society. And I think many of us from the different places that we come from trying to discern what our own response should be. In light of the events that we're going through in this present moment, I want to make a couple of adjustments to course requirements for the next couple weeks. And I do this knowing that for many of us, these current moments are especially stressful. And I hope for all of us that there is a need to be attentive to the moment in which we find ourselves, and that may involve, as you feel led, uh, participating in public demonstrations of solidarity with the people of color in our society who have been systematically oppressed for generations, and the need now to speak up, to be bodily present in a way that can promote a change for the better, a better direction in the United States and maybe even beyond. So, with those two concerns in mind, among many others, I'm sure, first of all, as you will have seen, there's going to be an extension for the working paper. It is not due until tomorrow night. That's Tuesday night, if you're watching this on Monday night or Tuesday morning. And that's just your rough draft, of course. We'll be doing the peer review for the rest of the week. The other adjustment to course requirements that I would like to make is to change the final paper if you want to. I'm not going to give you all the details of that right now, but for week 11, we had planned to write a final reflection paper for the class. Psychology students working on the integration of psychology and New Testament, thinking about that across the scope of the course. Theology students, intercultural studies students doing a reflection paper on apocalyptic. Both of these topics are, of course, very fitting for us to reflect on, even in the midst of this moment that we're in. But I don't think requiring quite as long of a paper or formal of a paper review is the right thing to do. So what I'm planning to do is to shorten that paper and give you the option of submitting something that is a little bit less formal. We'll hopefully give you the opportunity to put some words to your thoughts about this course, about the moment in which we find ourselves, about how this course and this moment relate to your calling as a psychologist, as a pastor, as any other kind of minister from and for the Christian community. For those of you in theology, this is actually an especially good time to think about apocalyptic. But again, the idea will be to require of you something that is quite a bit shorter and not as formal. That doesn't keep you from going through with the assignment as it is listed in the syllabus. If you have the energy for that and really want to sort of bring your thoughts to kind of some shape in your mind that sometimes requires us to write a little bit of a longer paper. I don't want to stop you from doing that, but I don't want to impose that on everyone as a requirement, because I want you to have energy for other things and just to be mindful of the toll that our current moment is taking on some of you, especially. So, I suppose it would be worth a final word here as I close this video. I don't want it to be too long. And that is to say something about this moment that we're in light of our course. I have tried to emphasize throughout our course that the gospel about Jesus that comes to us through the New Testament is a public reality. It is a social reality at the same time that it is a personal one. And the refusal of this gospel by so much of mainstream Christianity in the United States, especially among white people, the refusal of this gospel has provided a cover for what is the undercurrent of violent white supremacy, so that basically we hide white supremacy in the clothes of a gospel that is only about personal salvation, getting into heaven when you die, and white suburban morals between now and then. So I hope that you're seeing, as we near the end of this course, how urgent it is that we recover a gospel that makes public claims on us as bodies and does not settle for something merely private or post-mortem. There are lots of psychological implications for this. It's certainly a challenge to embrace the gospel that we've learned about in the New Testament. It entails all kinds of disturbance. But I just want to say here, as we're in this moment, how I hope you're seeing what is at stake in what the New Testament is about, in terms of confronting the systemic injustice that a false Christian gospel has enabled in our society. And we have seen some of its teeth again that have always been there, but occasionally rear up, and in this case, fortunately, with people there filming its effects. So with that, please find strength in these times. Do give yourself moments of rest. I hope you will find spaces for quiet and reflection, if that is possible. Most of all, I hope that you are surrounded by friends, fellow students, but other friends with whom you can digest what is going on. Professor Strawn and I are also obviously here. We continue to teach the class, to poll for you, and I think are available to the best of our ability to respond to concerns, questions that you may have. So with that, God bless you, as I say, with strength, and with strength, hope, as well as resolve.